Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. I don't know. Wherever you are in the world, greetings to you. My name is Simmone L. Bowe. I'm the host, or I should say, one of the hosts on MenSpeak. Welcome to another episode. Welcome to the month of March. I'm really excited about this show because we're talking about something that a lot of people want to know, especially women. We want to know what goes through the mind and the heart of a man when he is choosing a mate. I am so excited about tonight's show. I have an amazing guest who is coming on, who happens to be my good cousin as well. And also a very, very dear friend who is one of our regular Men Speak panelists. And funnily enough, they're both media personalities. So I'm going to pull them up to join us here on Men Speak. I want to welcome back to the show Keith L. Roll, KLR Management Group. How are you doing, Keith?
Hey, Simone, I'm doing good. Good to be here with you and these lovely people out here. What's going on? What's going on?
All is well. All is well. Good to have you back to the show. And we are excited. I think this will be the first time that we are talking to you on this platform about your change in status.
Oh, wow.
Because
Yeah.
when you first came on Men Speak, you were not a married man. Now you are a married man.
Yes, guilty as charged. Yeah, it's interesting, ain't it?
I
We were talking
know.
about all kinds of things throughout Men Speak, different events, Taj Mahal. Um, uh,
Yes.
it used to be Holiday Inn. It ain't Holiday Inn no more. I
It's
can't remember what it's called
Courtyard,
now.
Courtyard by
The
Marriott.
Courtyard.
Yes,
Courtyard at the Marriott. We had different events and so on and so forth.
we were at the
A broad
Radisson.
range. Yes, at the Radisson as well. Broad range of men and women. A lot of women in the crowd,
Yes,
and it's kind of
good
like
days.
a brotherhood. You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
in terms
good
of all the
days.
fellas over the years.
Yes, indeed. And in actual fact, I hope you don't mind now, but we got to give them the little inside secret. So the
It's all the
last time, I think maybe 2 shows ago, we were talking about the bruiser. So we just want everybody to know that Keith is the bruiser. But you'll have to come
yeah.
out to hear the full story. We can't give the full story tonight on
Yeah,
why he earned that title.
I earned that. I ain't gonna lie,
You
I earned
earned
that.
that fair and square. You earned that title.
Yeah, no lie, no lie, no lie.
But let me welcome our guest to the show, and hopefully he'll become a panelist. If he doesn't get too busy for us. But I would like to welcome AC.
I can never be too busy for you, Simone. What are you talking about?
You better not. You might get excommunicated.
Yeah, and
Nope,
I can't afford
nope.
that. Not my good cousin.
Exactly. But I want to welcome you officially for the first time on the stage because you've been following for a long time. You've been in the
Mhm.
audience, lighting the chat up, for several times now.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I've been seeing you and I'm like, oh Lord, my cousin. Oh my God. But Anthony Coakley, welcome, welcome, welcome officially to Men Speak.
Well, it is good to be here, and thank you for the invite. And to Keith, we are colleagues. Good to be
Yes.
on with you guys this evening. I am both humbled and honored to be here this evening.
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
made it to
yes.
the big time. That's how I
Yeah,
do
you
it.
made it to
I
the
made it to the
platform.
big time right now. This is, forget the red chair. Don't worry about that. I on the crate. I sitting on a crate tonight, a red crate. It's a red crate. Don't worry about the red chair. The red. No, don't worry about that. The red crate. Name
Oh
and
my
stuff.
God. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. But tonight we are talking about when a man chooses. We're talking about what goes through a man's mind and heart when he makes that big decision to get married. So I mentioned that Keith is married. He got married, you know, um,
4 years.
prior to
Yeah.
when was that now? You've got been married now for what, 3 years?
Four.
4 years already.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's still technically a newlywed, you know. It's not 5 years yet. He's still in the bliss, you know, still in the bliss. But AC, he actually just got engaged, and that's what caught my eye, because he had all these wonderful engagement photos online. And you know, when you put your life online, you know,
listen to me.
Everybody in your business.
I thought I had a little bit of fame in celebrity before being a media personality, right? But after the engagement video and the social media post, I had people walking up, particularly I had fellas walking up to me like, listen, bro, if you only know how much pressure you put me under, you have to go in and the sparkles and all the thing and all the stuff, and like, bro, that was it. But there's plenty pressure you put me under. I had one guy even came to me. He said, "Man, listen, I'm married and I under pressure." My wife looked at me like, "What happened? Why you didn't?
Why did you propose to me like that?" Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
But lots of planning went into that. But believe it or not, everything that was planned didn't happen, and what ended up happening was truly in the moment. And I just said, you know what, all that stuff isn't coming together. I'm just going to do this like this, and boom, it was beautiful and memorable.
Yeah, and that's how I think it's supposed to be. You know, we plan and then we just let things evolve and just let it happen. You know, let it happen the way that it should. So I don't want to preempt that, because I'd love to hear the story behind that and getting to the engagement. So I want to really for us to roll back and talk about this whole thing of dating and marriage, and, you know, getting to that place from a man's perspective. And I know women want to hear, you know, what causes a man to pick this one? Who is the one, and how do they get there? But so I want to ask the question to both of you. You know, what do men look for when dating? I want to start at dating first, and maybe we should define dating. What, in your opinion, is dating?
Yeah, we define, because in the Bahamas, dating doesn't mean the same thing it means everywhere else. You know?
Exactly.
I listen. I buy you bamboo today, and I get you the kiwi mystic. I ain't get you the blue one. I get you the other one. I buy you bamboo today.
Level up.
My car. Use my gal. Even though we just met day before yesterday, and I offer you to buy you lunch. You know, we had the club. We partying. Hey, sweetie, you want a drink? I buy you a drink, man. I buy you a drink. You know. All of a sudden, I standing next to you the whole night because you was my gal now. I buy you a drink.
That's right.
That's how I go.
So that's dating?
No,
because
but our perception of dating is completely warped here in the Bahamas, you know, because, you know, we don't date. I like you, you like me. We together. That's it. That's how we do it.
Let's slow down on that point, because I think that that's important, and maybe this is what causes us. Oh, that's my sister. She's telling you congratulations, AC. Nikita Bowe. Yeah. But let's backtrack and slow down and talk about that a little bit, because I find that a lot of times we do put the cart before the horse. You know, we jump into things really fast. We get sexual really fast. And then we wake up one day and realize, like, I don't really know this person. I don't know if I even like this person. Like, then I try to figure out how I could delete, block, ghost them. So, you know, how can we really redefine dating, particularly in the Bahamas? What should we be doing?
AC, let me jump on this right quick. All right. Well, first you got to understand the environment. The environment is really important. And as AC said, once you are seen out with a young lady, then the presumption is that you're dating. And I think that more than anything has really influenced the decisions, the choices that women make in relation to who they allow around them and who they are seen in public with. Because there's a lot of pressure that may be put on them, and the grapevine people be talking about, oh, I see so and so out with so and so and such and such. Uh, that's one of the prime drivers in our culture in relation to how we perceive whether or not someone is in a relationship or a couple. And that's how we do it in the States. You can A date is just a date, and the original definition of a date, I believe, really really predated the perception of relationships between men and women. um you know um they say, okay, AC, I have a business proposal. Let's meet up over lunch and discuss it, or let's go play golf and go over this thing. Sure, let's set a date. In the very literal term, that's what that concept of date meant. The fact that you're looking at a calendar, you're syncing those up so that two people would be able to meet together in one location in order to um, have an exchange of some sort go forth, whether that's an exchange of ideas, of concepts, and that's what's evolved into this whole dating thing to get with. And I know a lot of people just do it automatically, but I don't know how many times they really think about it to that degree, because it's a very simple process. A date is just setting a date, setting a location, and agreeing to meet. That's it. It's it's as simple as that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I think that is a part of our challenge culturally, because you're right. So dating means we go out, I'm getting to know you, right?
Right.
I'm getting to understand who you are, if there's compatibility and all that sort of stuff. And so, but culturally, they'll see you date somebody this week, then they may see you with somebody the other week, and then they may go back and say, well, hey, I saw that guy and he was with you last week, but did I see him, with somebody
Right.
else? And
Hmm.
so do you think that's a part of why we
Well,
aren't dating that way?
it yeah, there are some cultural stereotypes or stigmas that get um uh persons get labeled with, because as you just said, if a young lady goes out with Tim this weekend and then with Matthew next weekend, and then she's out at lunch with Keith 2 days later, oh, look at him, girlie. Oh, look at her. Yeah. Then all the whispers start. And so
Mhm.
there's those stigmas because, well, how much man she won't be out with? That's the first
Right?
question you ask, right? Now, again, like, so the thing is, dating to me comes in, I would say, criteria, or no, I would put it better like this. Dating is going to be their standards or levels. Let's use that word, levels of dating, right? Because you are dating, you could be dating for seeking purposes, because you are actively looking, for Mr. Right as a female or Miss Right as a male, right? Or And then so there's that actively seeking dating. And then there's dating for fun. You just want to go out, have a good time with somebody, enjoy a nice outing, and that's it. You're not looking for anything. You're not trying to hook up. Hopefully the person on the other end is they're in the same place. Because what happens is when the cross communication is like, so what happened? I thought what you said. You know what I'm
I
saying?
thought I was the only one.
There's a lot, So there's that. You're dating for entertainment, just fun, enjoying yourself, right? And then there is the dating for intention. Now that intentional dating, that's when you have found the person you want to be with, and you decide that, you know what, this the one, and when it's the one, that's the one, um uh, so that's dating with intention. So for me, there are three categories of dating. Now, for us here in the Bahamas, being able to identify them and recognize that this is what we're doing. And I feel like we've finally been able to mature culturally as a people to recognize that, you know what, you could go out with somebody and it is just a date, just an outing, you know. It doesn't necessarily have to be, why that's my gal, by what you're dealing with, you know, like, why, yes, why, because, you know, I last week, why we been to the fry together, you know, and I did order her, she did order the lobster, way. So, you know, she ordered a lobster, you know what I mean?
Never since, you know.
She ordered a lobster.
Morning.
Because when you order lobster, you know what I mean? Instead, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, that ain't no what they call that?
No.
I know cutter special, you know.
No.
Thai snack.
If you order the fritters, we all right. You order the fritters, we all right. But you order lobster, it's a different kind of conversation now.
That's a different level. That's a different investment.
Yes, sir. You understand?
And I'm happy you said it that way, because the word that comes to mind that really manifests that concept is expectation.
Yes.
There's expectations, and you have to be able to communicate what your expectations are and be open to understanding what the expectations are of the other person that's associated with that outing, that date.
Yeah, so let's talk about that.
Drama. Yeah, okay.
Because how do we now manage expectations? We go out on a date, you know, we order fritters and a lobster and, you know, a cocktail.
Strawberry daiquiri.
You know, and then we go out on another date, you know, maybe we go to the movies, maybe we go to an event, maybe there's a work event, and now I'm you know, inviting you into my life, right? How do we manage expectations? Because that technically is still dating. When do we become exclusive? So how do we manage those expectations on either side, right? Because I may feel as the woman, oh, you've asked me out a few times now, we're getting serious. But whoever told me that? Like, there always seems to be that disconnect, you know, like, so somebody in this relationship is feeling like we're in a relationship. Somebody is feeling like we're not in a relationship. I like your company and I just keep asking you out. So how do we manage those expectations?
Well, all right. It gets a little, this is where communication is everything. That's like 9/10 of the law. Communication is everything, because you know how it is, bro. AC, I know you know. You know, you got the date, you gotta wash your car. Either you do it yourself or you pay someone $10, $15, $20 to wash your car. Then let's say you gotta make sure you got gas in the tank. You may eat a have, or you get an outfit that may include a new pair of tennis or shoes or whatever. You know, congratulations, you're already $250 in the hole. You know what I'm saying? That's before you even leave the house. And on her side, you know, she may have put 300, 400. She may have decided to get her hair done, you know, make sure her nails all right, got her outfit and all that stuff. So cumulatively, you guys may have already had anywhere from a $500 to an $800 investment before you guys even met each other, before you guys connected in person. And like we said, expectations. Expectations. You know, so if you as a fella, you paying for everything, you ain't going Dutch. You know what I'm saying? That may be dinner, that may be movies, that may be dinner and a movie. You know what I'm saying? And then what happens after that? Are you buying us some food on the way home? You know, you're stopping off at that bamboo shack, you're stopping off at that
you got a feeder going home, too?
Man, you know, I used to do that, bro. I ain't confront. I used to do that. We used to.
Wow. 2 meals in one night?
Bro. I'm sure there are several people who can vouch for this. But yeah, we out, we go, we have fun. But yeah, on the way home.
Got them late night lunches.
Yeah, man. On the way home, I can make sure when you walk in the door, you got something that you will walk in the door with. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't for everybody. You know, everybody ain't could do that. But that again, I did that without an expectation that this young lady owed me anything. I did it fully understanding that I may be the Tuesday date, someone may be the Wednesday date, this one may be a Thursday date, you may be dating two, three other fellas. And my understanding to that came really from speaking with the women that were in my life and from my older cousins who were in my life. And from they told me from jump, it ain't exclusive until y'all both say it's exclusive. Until then, y'all just enjoying each other's company, having a good time. It's a social outing. That's it.
And
We ain't
that's
talk
true.
about no good night kiss or no none of that stuff. Like that's literally it. And you people go on multiple dates with people that they enjoy being around. So as a man, it's really on you to one decide whether or not this is someone that beyond the physical. Because let's be real, 9 times out of 10, the reason why you're interested in her in the first place is there's something that's physically appealing to her, appealing to you. You know, she caught your eye, as they used to say back in the day. And from that point, you walking up to her and communicating with her, it's all about understanding what's in that mental, what's in that head. So do you have shared values, or is there something that she knows that you can learn about or benefit from, or vice versa? You know, we all have to figure out what we bring to the table. The problem is I'd say maybe 6 times out of 10, 6 times out of 10, you can tell before you even get to a date stage whether or not you even want to be around that
Oh,
person.
for sure.
I mean,
Because
mm,
let me jump in on that. You,
yeah.
especially if you are in that stage called seeking, um,
Hmm.
if you're just out for the fun and it's just a good time and you're not, you aren't watching nothing, right? Um,
Hmm.
there is no expectation because your expectation, as you put, may be the fact that what you are looking for, you know,
Right.
are you looking for somebody that you actually could get into a relationship with? But
Hmm.
if you're out and that person you seeing all the wrong signs, then you
Mm,
know right then and there, like bro, um, that's when you call your boy, hey, cuz,
mm,
ring me in about 10 minutes, right? And tell me I need to come get you because your car break down. So just ring me. Boom. Phone call, cuz call you. Hey, sweetie, so sorry, but my cuz breakdown is a little emergency. I gotta go get. Oh, I can't go with you. No. I have to drop you home because there ain't enough space in the car. What are you all doing in the car? There ain't enough space in the car, right? You have to
yeah,
drop her home, right? Because
yeah.
you don't know that this ain't happening. This ain't no. But if it's just there is no expectation. You are truly just looking for and this may be somebody you could enjoy their company, but
Mm,
you don't see them being someone long term. They're saying go beyond this. I like hanging out with you, but that's it.
right.
I like hanging out
Okay.
with you, but
I
that's
want to I
it.
want to I want to stick a pin right there.
Mhm.
Okay.
I want to hear what on those two cases, what would cause you to have to call out for backup and say, "Hey, I need to get out of this." What
Well,
would cause you to
mhm.
do that?
you, we all have our standards, right?
Mm,
And let's just put it like that. We have our standards, and if she is not meeting the standard, and you of what you require, I've been out on dates and watching the paint dry on the wall was more exciting
yeah, man.
because okay, we can have a conversation because
Mm,
intellectually
Ah,
we're in the same place, same space, right?
so she may have
And
yeah.
been attractive. Maybe there was something about her that was like, okay, I'd like to explore
yeah,
this a little further. But when you
Yeah.
dig a little deeper, that there's
it
nothing.
ain't it's like a fresh car that you always see park in the yard. Like this car fresh. You pass all the way, this car looks so good. Car look dead good. Always clean. But ain't no engine because
Hmm.
ain't nothing under the hood.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing under the hood. But the body look right, fresh. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. So you know there's not going to be any value to this time that you're spending and investing in this person if you are seeking more than just hey Marsha, shout out to you. I gotta say shout out to my small group, my Muhammad's Harvest small group, single small group. They in here strong tonight. So shout out to all y'all and everybody else who told me that they was gonna log on tonight. Shout out to y'all. I'm happy to have you all on. But yeah, you're not gonna invest the time beyond like this ain't it. Like this ain't it. And you know that this ain't it at all. So you just find a way to get out of that situation because you just don't want to and waste time. Waste time and effort, and plus and money. If listen, because she gonna order the crawfish not only for her but for carry some. I can't take some more for my mommy. No, your mommy ain't out on this day. Your mommy.
Your mommy.
Yep. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So let's talk about the one who, okay, they made it past the first date, maybe the second date, even a third date. Like you mentioned, I don't mind spending time with you, but I know that I can't spend my life with you. So clearly, maybe there is something under the hood, but there's still something missing. Like, what's the missing element there in that category?
Now, let's do the categorization. The one we just finished speaking about and the one that we're speaking about right now, that falls under the fun category. It's no long-term future, no nothing. I enjoy going out with this person. I'd rather not go out by myself. So, boom, that's a fun category. Mm-hmm. Now, depending on what kind of guy you are, the fun category could mean different things. That could be purely physical, or that could mean, just I just don't want to be alone. I want some company.
Yeah.
I'm going out to a function. I'm going out to this thing. Oh, wow, this great movie came out. Oh, my boy is busy. Yeah, let me see if she's free.
This person's fun. I can hang with her. I'll just call her up and see.
The women have a name for it. For us, they just call it, he's something to do. Well,
really? I didn't know that one.
That's what you always refer to us as. And that's truly what they are. She's something to do. They can hang with her. It's fun. And at the same time, there's no pressure from her, because she ain't pushing for nothing. We just vibing, we just hanging, and that's cool. And so that works if that's where you're at,
So now they normally say that in cases like that, there's a perceived understanding that everything's we just chilling and we enjoying each other's company. But there's typically a person in the mix that has deeper expectations.
Catch the feelings.
Right. Maybe she may not be saying anything because she doesn't want to chase you away. But deep down, she is hoping and thinking that there is something more. How do we deal with that?
Keith said it best. Communication. Let her know. Like, you gotta let her know that, and you do have to reiterate it. You will have to reiterate it. You will have.
I was just gonna say
that multiple times, and make it very, very public. Oh, this is my friend. You just need to say that. You need to establish that.
I was I wanted to tap that, right? Because it just seems like no matter how many times you would tell a woman that, like a woman would have this undying hope that she could make you love her. What would you tell women today? Like, if I as a man, I'm telling you, this is all I want. Don't think that I'm going to ask you to marry me. Don't think that we are a thing. You're something to do. You're a good friend. Yeah. I like to hang out. You might spy, that's what we say. We down. But it's nothing more than that. Like, what happens when a woman just doesn't get it?
All right. Well, you're talking about the friend zone.
Correct.
And in most instances, the friend zone is attributed to men, in terms of men who are interested in a woman and they get stuck in the friend zone. But from the lady's perspective, in terms of being in the friend zone, but getting out that. I mean, even if you use the other way around, no getting out that. Once you're in the friend zone, you're in the friend zone, and that's it. Unless there is some deep level of communication, like deep in terms of your goals, the things that you want to accomplish in life. Ironically, the friend zone is the best place to be to get to know other people because they telling you about other people they're going out with. They telling you all the dirt. That's really the best place to be. The problem is, once you're in the friend zone, that's like the twilight zone. You ain't never coming out. And but really the friend zone is really an incubator. You know what I'm saying? That's the incubator stage for the foundation of a great relationship. And I think if we were to look at it differently, you could have some very long-lasting relationships, fulfilling relationships, and marriages as a result of that friend zone process. But the challenge is, while you and maybe three other guys in the friend zone, the young lady out there dating 2-3 fellas a week.
Mm-hmm.
And we in the 21st century right now. You're giving, she giving the best of her to people that she knows she ain't serious about.
Mm-hmm.
That's just this, and you as a fella, you doing it too. You doing it too on the side. You know what you're doing, fellas. I used to be in a barbershop. I was listening. You know the time. You know the time. You're giving your best to people that you already know you ain't serious about
As a dead end.
long term, and then you'll go right back to the people who have the most quality, the people who could really help you to develop and to grow, and you could actually build something together. But they suck in the friend zone, and that's that. So I think that's why relationships on the whole are failing. I think that's a big part of the reason why marriages are failing too. And my God, we didn't even talk about kids in the picture. You know what I'm saying? You're just talking about you seeing someone and you're communicating and all of these things are happening. So to recap a little bit, you got the fun zone, then you got the friend zone. That's pretty much where we are right now, right? The fun zone and the friend zone.
The fun zone and the friend zone.
There
We
you
have a
go.
question here from Georgia, who is actually on my Women Speak panel when we used to do Men Speak and Women Speak. We kind of go head to head with the guys and the ladies, and all the way there in Florida. Hi, Georgia. And so she has a question here. At what point does a man take the responsibility to terminate a situationship that he knows isn't going anywhere?
To me, at the point where it becomes such an annoyance to your life. It literally gets you to a place where if you see that person calling or any indication of you having to interact with them, you instantly get annoyed.
Yeah.
And the sad part about it is too many of us subject ourselves to situationships like that because we don't want to hurt her feelings.
Yes.
And then, because I can tell, I've been there, done that. But then there's another element that comes into play. When you make it known and she gets amnesia, no matter how much you've made that known, you've shown that, she still don't recognize it, don't respect it, and act like you never said this to her. And at that point, the responsibility isn't even on you no more. It's on her, because whereas as Georgia said, personal integrity, where's her personal integrity? Why are you still subjecting yourself to this man who's made it clear that he don't want you or don't want this situation? Why are you still pushing the issue? Like you asked at the very beginning, or you said some women feel like they could make a man love them. Listen, the song told you, the song tell you very clear. I can't make you love me if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make your heart feel something it won't.
It won't.
That's it.
Right.
This is a natural thing. It's organic. If I'm going to fall in love with you, I am going to fall in love with you. That's it. That's the organics, right? And that's how it happens. You can't make him love you. So if he made it clear that he doesn't, then he doesn't.
So
All right.
she's falling
And
and
And she's asking
qualifying
about
and saying,
lady, but see,
yeah.
okay, I'll give a scenario, right? I was in a situationship prior to my present relationship that I terminated. But some people just won't take no for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a situationship, and my life story is, listen, Tyler Perry could do a couple movies off of my life. No joke
I
about
wouldn't
it.
show.
Believe me, I've been told that I need to write a book. I don't know how many times. I was in a situationship where a year had passed. Done end, like, I ain't doing this, but yet still the young lady had a private investigator following me around, keeping tabs on where I was and what I was doing.
what?
That's crazy.
So
That's crazy.
you get where I'm coming from? So there's
Yeah.
there's situations where people just can't take no for an answer.
Yeah. And I find that our attachments sometimes, I was talking to somebody about this today, that sometimes it's not love or, the actual relationship that we're holding on to. We're holding on to hope. We're holding on to someone's potential. We have the potential to be great together. I hope that maybe you would change your mind. I hope that things would shift in a different direction. And sometimes we have to face this reality, and especially for people who are believers, right? Because we're gonna go and we're gonna be praying on it, and we're gonna be waiting on the Lord. We could be doing all this stuff, but we're praying about someone's will. And like you said, like the song says, you can't make someone love you. We all have free will,
Yes.
and so sometimes we have to face the reality that this is just not going to be. And then we have to do the work of letting go and releasing and believing in yourself that you are lovable, you're worthy of love, and you will be loved, whether you're single or with someone else. you know Keith, you wanted to chime in on that?
Yeah, because relationships are about give and take. It's literally an exchange. No, very few men will feel responsible to end a situationship if they are continuing to benefit from it, if they are getting something from it. And it doesn't have to be physical in nature, like we said before
That's
about
true.
different things. They enjoy your company. They're getting something from that connection with you that they find beneficial. And ironically, women used to say, we have such a good friendship. I would hate to ruin it. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. That's what these guys are doing. They're using that, they're flipping that whole concept on these ladies. I like it where it is. We're great as we are. Why should we change?
Yeah.
So the responsibility. So I know Georgia mentioned it from the perspective of integrity, but as AC said, you can express it, you can say it, but at that point it becomes greater than. It becomes more of an ego thing. It becomes a control thing.
True.
And come on, man. Someone get a private investigator and following you around. You really want to be in a relationship with someone? You really want to be in a position where you have kids with someone who try to control. You can't control people. You don't
No.
own people.
No.
Slavery is finished.
Mm-hmm.
So either they want to be with you or they do not, and you have to decide. for your own good, your own peace of mind. And good Lord, you don't know what you're missing out on with all this energy you pouring into um, someone that's not serious about you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if
You have
that's
to
not
let
for
go.
you, if you know, and the thing is, even though you might think that I'm the one for you,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm making it clear that I don't want this and I don't want to do this with you, then that tells you that I'm not the one. You moving
Exactly.
on can open you up or line you up for your Mr. Right, which could be, you know, the guy right around the corner.
Yeah. Or in your
Yeah.
friend zone. Because,
You know,
nine times
or
out
in the
of
friend
10,
zone,
bro,
you know,
nine
who's
times out
been
of
there,
10,
your
mhm,
support, who's been your, because you know what, this person really loves you, but you can't see
exactly.
that because you're too focused running after this situation or this person who is making it known that this ain't what I want.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another thing that ties in with this. Okay. We did fun zone, we did friend zone. I'm a throw another thing out there. My type. This my type thing is a prison.
Come
It's a
on now. Let's
prison.
talk about that. Let's talk about that. This
The reason why,
checklist, the preference list.
yes, and the reason why you running after this fellow who ain't into you, who in some cases may have another woman, he in a relationship, and yet you still, oh, let's go out here and so on and so forth. Or if it's a group setting, you feel comfortable going out with the group with him and his girlfriend. You know the time. You talking to him, talking about, yeah, man, that's get serious with each other. You expect him to leave this woman you're ready with. These situations be going on. This my type thing will be the death of your relationship or of your self-esteem, your ego. This whole my type thing will destroy your life.
Why? Why? What is the issue with the my type?
Image,
How does that lock us in?
My
image.
type.
Image.
Well, my
Eye
type is.
candy, they have the look that
Mhm.
I'm going for. We look good together. We look good on Instagram.
Well, this thing with image that AC spoke about, and what you speak about with social media, these things are manifestations of desires. These are things that originate within the mind. It's you envision a future. You envision who this person is. You envision their height, their weight, their bank account. You envision all of this, and the person who fits this thing, this this pocket reality that exists only in your mind, that is who you're trying to force into this construct that you've made 100% by yourself. And anyone who's been in a real relationship will tell you the moment you connect with another person, it is about two realities that are blending with each other and creating something new.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And
So
just to
whatever this thing,
piggyback on that, sorry, Keith,
yeah, go. No, no, go on, man.
on that, it is being in love with a fantasy, being
I
in
was just
love
gonna
with
say it's a
potential.
fantasy.
It's this
Mm,
fantasy.
Yes.
It's this image, of what I want my life to be and how I
Yep.
want people to see me. And this guy right here
Mm-hmm.
is the one that fits that fits what's the Disney character, Prince Charming. He
yeah,
fits the Prince
Right.
Charming. He ticks off in all the boxes, all the right boxes. He ticks off except for the one that says he's really into you. Except that one.
Ooh.
The one box he ain't
Ooh.
taking off in. The one that he into you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So in a way, you're not even in love with the person. You're in love with this thing that represents them. It's
construct.
almost like
You
an idol.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Correct.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so you can't see it. You can't see the
Mhm,
reality. You can only
mhm.
see the fantasy. And I think that's what breaks you down and what causes you to hire an investigator, what causes you to stalk, to go on their social media pages and see what they're up to. If they're not telling you what they're up to, they're not into you.
Mhm, mhm.
You
That's how
know,
it go. That's how it
That's
go.
that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
If they ain't texting you in the morning, you're always the one initiating the conversation. You're always the one checking in. You're always the one who, what are we going to be doing this weekend? You're always the one making the plans. He's not into you. You're forcing something that's not there.
Now, there's one more. There's another zone, and I can
Oh,
go here.
let me hear this zone. Let me hear this.
It's the bamboo zone.
The bamboo zone? What is this?
This is the slap up zone. All right.
I'm in for it. Go, bro.
This with the benefits zone. Okay. That's that zone. Now, a lot of women confuse sex for he into me.
Mm-hmm.
Help us.
All right.
Come through.
Every man and I has been there when, you know what? They could check you because they could get the goods.
Come now.
I done been there. I check it out because I know I could get the goods.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't really gonna hear from me like that often,
Until
listen, I had a situation. I used to check this person once a month.
Yeah.
To the point where she tells me, you check me once a month. You know why? Because when I feel the vibe, I can check you.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I could get the goods.
But y'all don't go out.
No.
She don't even get bamboo. She don't even get.
Chill.
No, when I come, I know she can cook something. I know she can cook something, so I can be straight too. Right?
Boy.
So I
she
can be
trying
straight
to
all
hold
around.
you. She trying to show you she's that good thing.
Exactly, right?
Oh, God.
Don't confuse it. Because, listen, if you in the slap-up zone, that's where you are. You in the slap-up zone. And you ain't going to move from there. Because, truly, we really don't see you. We see what you got and what we want.
My God.
I can be brutally honest.
Please.
This is the way we think.
Helping.
Did I lie?
You ain't lie. You speaking 100. Keep going.
All right. That's us. Because when you in that zone for us, that's where you are. And that's when we can check you. And there are many women who realize that and still subject themselves to it, hoping, again, that same hope, hoping that it could change. Or, but they realize this price is only the woman tell me, you only check me like once a month. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You ain't figure out why yet.
Yo, bro, AC, let me throw and Simmone, let me throw this one on you. The flip side of that are the women who you only hear from on Thursday.
Well,
government payday. You can get that call.
Boom.
Government payday.
Friday. They know government payday coming. They making sure they line up.
So that's the fund zone, the FUND zone.
Yes, the fund
zone. Oh,
man.
I hope you write this down.
Listen, I'm like, I'm missing it. I gotta get this down.
Yeah,
the
fun zone, the friend zone, the my type zone, the bamboo zone, and the fun zone.
Jeez.
My God. My God. So I want to, before we get into choosing the one, I want to touch on this that I don't know if a lot of people really talk about, but the fact that men also have standards, right? Like a lot of times we only hear this narrative that women have standards for the type of man that they want, right? And they have a checklist of all of these requirements and preferences and must-haves and deal breakers and all of that. But men have that too. Men have standards for themselves, right? But it seems to be a bit of a resistance on that. And men tend to get stereotyped, right? So for instance, I'll give an example that men would choose singleness and even celibacy until they find the person that they really want to connect with. And sometimes people, generally society and women, find that very hard to believe. But purposeful men will be discriminating.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like there's a resistance when men uphold a standard that they want. It's almost like because we've sold this narrative that men don't have standards, men only want to have sex, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with that mentality? And do you see that happening more and more, where men are choosing singleness and men are choosing celibacy until they find that right person for them?
AC, let me jump in on this right quick.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, right now. Jesus, so what you got me talking about this stuff? All right, 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 all
If you
right.
didn't say drop it like it's real.
Celibacy doesn't mean they're not watching porn and masturbating. It doesn't mean that they're not getting that sexual energy out some other way. So you may think that this is a good guy. He is celibate, his name ain't out there in the street. But if you were to be with this guy, you may not want to be with this guy. This guy may be watching stuff where someone like to choke somebody else, and the first time you know about it is when he choking you.
Oh Lord.
This thing goes so deep. So it's great. Big ups to the men who are celibate and who aren't out there doing stuff. But I wanna approach this in truth. I don't want to just romanticize the fact that these
Sugarcoat it.
guys aren't out there. Yeah, romanticize it or sugarcoat that the fact that their name ain't in the streets. That's where integrity comes in. And the only way that you can really know about the integrity of someone, is to know, really get to know that person when it comes to their relationship with God, their relationship with family, their relationship with friends. You really need to learn the character of these people, boy. You really do. I'll tell a little story, but this one girl I met, she told me she was a single mom. I didn't really have a problem with that at the time. I was single. And she invited me to her son's birthday party. I think he may have been 6 years old or so, 7. Like, I don't think he was older 7. So I drove up a little late. Her and her girlfriends were there, and a couple kids were running up and down the yard. And I met her son. Her son was rolling around in the grass. And I just saw this is his party, it's his birthday. He just loving himself, right? Little did I know he was really loving himself, because I'm not there 5 minutes speaking to her, and one of her friends say, "You want another one? You want another one?" The boy say, "Yeah." They went in the cooler, give the boy a click. This is a 6-year-old boy. He horseback into click. When I drove up there, the boy was already drunk. She is a beautiful woman. She's intelligent, educated, got a real good job. But that's what she doing to her own son. And her and her girlfriend's laughing at that. You do not know people. You do not know people. No matter how they look, you do not know people. Integrity is the number one thing that you need to worry about when it comes to these relationships. Like, I can't even go deeper than that. So yeah, AC.
Well, coming on this live tonight,
Yeah.
I made a commitment, and I will say, in many ways, this being here tonight is an answer to a prayer that I prayed some time ago. And being here tonight is by God's positioning and an alignment and assignment. Okay. Because I was the dude with the name in the streets.
Amen.
AC, the party guy, AC, the gallus, AC, you name it, that was me. I was the dude whose name was nasty in the streets, right? Standard, as you talked about, Simmone, as you posed this question, I had no standards. He ain't had no standards for myself first. And therefore, I allowed myself to get into so many situations, right? This, for me right now, the relationship I'm in, I have been blessed with a second chance to get it right for the first time. I was married for 15 years, and most people never knew that.
I never knew that myself.
I didn't know.
Most people never knew I was married because
Wow.
I kept my life so segmented and separated, and it allowed me to be this image that I had of myself, right? But not knowing what image I was putting out to the world, right? My mother always would say, what you give to the world, you can't take it back, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have no standards, none whatsoever. So boundaries? It's a joke. What boundaries?
Wow.
Right? Until I got to a place where the Lord had to allow me to be stripped of everything to break me right down to the point where I was contemplating some of the worst things possible.
Yeah.
Then I recognized, as looking in the mirror, what was necessary to be able to establish some standards, to be completely alone, losing family, losing job, losing money, losing it all, being stripped of everything and put in a place of the wilderness for the most part. So at that point, it was just me and God. And all of the noise was stopped so I could finally hear. And the transformation could start, right? And in that transformation, that's where standards were developed, boundaries and barriers were established, right? So as a man, if you don't have those things, you are like a ship without a rudder. You can go wherever the wave take you. If the seas are rough, you can rock and roll with that. If the sea is calm and placid, you just could drift wherever the current takes you. And I know it well. You see? So you do have to have standards and boundaries for yourself as a man.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't establish that and don't recognize why it's so necessary. And when we see other men, as Keith pointed out, when we see other men that have that, that's by what you dealing with, but and we start to throw all the labels. This boy's a punk, boy. What are you dealing with? But the problem is that's what we are taught.
Yes.
That's where it all starts. Because those seeds are planted very, very early. That girl like you, go do this. That girl like you, go do that. Or you only got one gal, but what you dealing with?
It's true.
Really starts really like you and thing. That all of those were the seeds that were planted in me very, very early by the older men around me.
And even being pushed into sexual activity too early, being pushed too early to be sexual.
Early. Exactly, right? So when these seeds start to grow, this monster is created. This predator is created. You know, and so when we ask, why do you think he's act like that, and why do you think men like this, and why do you think men like that? It's because of the seeds that are planted in us very, very early, and the expectation that is put upon us. You are expected to be a lover boy.
Exactly.
But the fact is, there are women who are going to hurt as a result of you being a lover boy.
Yeah.
And I literally was at a place in life where I had to beg forgiveness for the waistline, waistland of hearts that I was responsible for.
Wow, that's powerful. That is powerful.
And so for me, being in this situation now, being in my relationship now, being engaged now, is truly a blessing of a second chance to get it right for the first time. That is my mantra. And I've had to establish boundaries, barriers, right, to operate within. How much I'm interacting with other females, engaging, what conversations. I was to do it, nothing was off limits. I would talk about anything because I was AC.
Right.
I didn't know how to be Anthony because I was always AC.
Yeah.
You know. Now I've come to an understanding of the importance of being Anthony and why Anthony needs the standards and the barriers and the boundaries, right? Why it's so critical, why it's so necessary, because God has, as Keith made that point, the plan and the purpose can't come to fruition without you being prepared and positioned. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now, you're preaching.
Listen, don't start me.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, man.
I'm loving it. So I am loving this. I am loving this.
One thing I'll say, Anthony, and I am from one man to the other man. I think even though as little boys, we have a lot of older men telling us this, and older boys actually as well, telling us to do all these things. We don't really embrace that lifestyle until we get our heart crushed for the first time. There's that one girl that you just love, and boy, she crushed your heart, and from there you say, yeah, I could be a dog. And that happens very early, and that's really a reflection of the fact that even though we're told as men or as boys how we should be behaving in relation to women, we still aren't educated or guided on how to communicate with women and how to treat women. You know, from a
how to heal from hurt. What is the response to heartbreak? The response to heartbreak isn't to go out and break more hearts.
Oh, that's not what it should be.
I know. I'm just saying we're not taught that. You see what I'm saying?
I agree. Yeah, we are definitely not taught that, and I think, especially with the way the world is going now, where I saw a statistic, these are U.S. stats, but about maybe 3-4 days ago, where they said that 40% of young men aren't having sex; they're abstinent. And I saw another one that said that the statistic was as high as 80% that weren't having sex. But for the one that was 40% of men not having sex, that statistic said that 60% of women were having sex. So
Martin right there, Keith.
Yeah. The math ain't math it, you know, unless you're dealing with
unless they're having that
women have multiple partners.
Yeah.
Unless it's a larger pool of women, smaller pool of men. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're in a time now where women are more sexually active than the men are. So this information that you're sharing, it's even more valid and more valuable now on how to communicate with women, how to guard your heart, understanding the game. Don't be no dummy. You know what I'm saying? But more importantly, um, the consequences for men today are so much more extreme than they were when you and I were coming up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Um, Everything from pregnancy, teenage pregnancy, to rape accusations. I mean,
Right.
yo,
Going to
we
prison.
even talk. We even talk about STDs. I mean, the other
Right.
day I saw this thing with this model who said she had AIDS for anywhere from 8 to 10 years, and they have all these photos with her and Nick Cannon dating beforehand, and another one of these
There were a
rappers
number
up
of
there.
celebrities there that were highlighted.
Yeah, it was like, dang. I mean, you thought AIDS gone, eh? That's still there. And then you got
Right.
herpes and all of these different things that may not be life enders, but you have so many things out there
They can make life
that,
difficult for you. Yeah.
yeah, incredibly,
It
incredibly
So,
so.
changes the game in dating, because now you are like, when we talk about George's bringing up the fact of integrity, right? She was like, y'all blow me off at integrity earlier, but we still coming back to it. But integrity would say, how much now do you reveal to someone that you're dating? Well, hey,
if you don't have
is
no,
that a second,
again,
third date conversation?
yeah, if you don't have any standards, what integrity?
Right?
Hmm.
If you don't have any standards, you have no integrity.
No integrity. And that answers the question.
Yeah.
There's no personal integrity, so you're not going to end it. As you said, if I'm going to get something from it, I'm going to benefit from this situationship, then I will continue to benefit until such time that I choose I'm not benefiting from this anymore, or
And
maybe there's something else
even if I've made it very, very clear and I've ended it, and she still chooses to
pursue.
that's on her. I didn't tell her.
Right.
That's how we can be. Like,
Yeah.
I tell her, but she still keeps doing. So what do you want me to?
Yeah.
That's how
I mean,
that's how it can be.
yeah, you've done what you were supposed
You
to do.
know.
So let's talk about moving now from these various zones. I don't know what we can call this particular zone now. Is this the true love zone? I don't know what we can call this particular zone, but where
When
we
you're talking
move
about
from,
exclusivity, being exclusive, is that what you
yeah,
mean?
the exclusive zone,
Okay.
you're the one zone,
Mm.
when
This is
we've
the purpose
decided
zone.
the purpose. Oh, that's it. The
Purpose
purpose
zone.
zone.
That's the
Yeah.
zone we have. Yeah.
We've gone through the get to know you, the fun zone. We've been dating for a while. I enjoy your company. I enjoy your intellect. I enjoy your values, everything that you represent. And I feel like I could spend the rest of my life with you. What takes you to that decision? So, AC Anthony, we're going to talk to you about that, since you are the most recently engaged on the show, on the planet. You had a whale of a time, with that whole experience of what you
Mm-hmm.
shared online. And it just seemed very heartwarming. And you all were in your Christmas PJs,
Yeah, man.
and the family and friends were there. And, you could just feel the love and everything.
Mm-hmm.
What got you to that place to get you to decide that, A, I'm going to ask her to marry me,
Mm-hmm.
and B, I'm going to do it in a grand way. C, I'm committed to this. Like, this is what I want after everything that I've been through.
I do not want to sound cliche in any way, but I will tell you it is truly an answer to a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Truly. Um, Being in that wilderness place that I talked about, my for a period of time, I prayed and I asked God if He would give me one more chance to And again, going right back to what I said as my mantra, one more chance at love again. I promised, I made a commitment that I would not repeat the lifestyle and the life living that of my past. I made a commitment that I would respect the person I was involved with. I would respect myself. I would operate my life with integrity, that I would do things different. And that was a very earnest prayer I prayed, asking for just one more chance. When I will tell this story, when Aja and we had known each other for some years. Because of a business that she operated, which was very close to our radio station. It was a deli. And so I would frequent that location often. So we knew each other just, casually. In the heights of the pandemic, we ended up just talking at a church service. Didn't know that we attended the same church, but just crossed paths. Fast forward to the place where I was in this, as I put it, no man's land. I prayed that prayer, and I literally said, Lord, okay, now what do I do? And for some reason, she came to my mind. It was around my birthday, and I decided that, you know what, I'm just going to go out and just grab a glass of wine. I'm a big wine lover, and just chill to myself. And I was just scrolling through social media, and then I saw a photo of her, and I said, something sparked me to, hey, you should message her and just ask her to go with you. Grab a glass of wine. No expectations, right? And I did that. She was busy at work, but she said, you know what? I'd like to join you at some other point in time. There you go. She then hit me up a couple of days later and said, what are you doing for your birthday? I'm not doing anything. You know what? Let me take you out for that glass of wine. We went out. We had a conversation that went on for hours. Instead of one glass of wine, I think there were like 4 bottles. Right? The conversation went on for hours. It was the best conversation I felt like I'd ever had.
Wow.
And I continued to just ask God to guide me as to what I'm supposed to do, where it concerned the relationship in my life, but recognizing that the plan was for me to fix my relationship with him first and heal, so that I could be prepared for what came next. We continued to just communicate on a very friendly level. And I saw that, you know what? There's something about this woman I just can't seem to get enough of. And my contentment was in her company. And I was like, you know what? I think this is the direction I want to go. Yeah, and so things progressed from there. Fast forward to getting to the place of asking her to marry me.
Yeah.
It's because I told her very early off in our relationship, you're going to be my wife. Because I recognize that I was willing to be the best man I could be for me and for her. And when I prayed that prayer and she came to mind, voice said to me, and I kid you not, she is going to stretch you.
Wow.
I didn't understand what that meant until we got into a relationship. The stretching was holding me to the standards that I didn't have before. The stretching me was demanding that I operated with barriers and boundaries that I didn't have before.
Wow.
Right? And those things gave me this realization that I want to be the best man I've ever been for me and for this woman.
Wow.
And so, truly, I will say that, as somebody just said to us out of the blue today, that your connection is a divine connection. Like, you didn't just happen.
Wow.
This happened with purpose. And that is what led to me, because I could see, I could feel, everything about me knows that this has purpose. That is the answer to that question.
That's amazing. And what is the role of purpose in marriage and relationships? And I guess, Keith, if you want to touch on that, and both of you, Keith, you can start. What is the role of purpose? Because this now changes the game, right? I mean, it's yes, we have preferences. Yes, we have chemistry and conversation, and we have dreams and visions, and we have desires and all of those things. But purpose is our reason for being. This is a higher calling that you can actually fulfill without a mate. Like, truly, being in relationship is the gravy. It's the cherry on the top. Yes. But when we are called alone, right? And when we bring someone into our lives to run along with us, our purpose has to be at the forefront of a decision like that, because you could connect yourself to someone that could derail your purpose and actually destroy your purpose. If you're not connected to the right person, you could be so distracted by the relationship that you would not even fulfill your purpose.
Exactly.
So talk to us about the importance of purpose playing a part in how you choose a partner for life.
All right. Simmone, man, you dropping these bombshells. All right, look here. I can keep it 100 with y'all, okay? Purpose is your purpose is your purpose. Your spouse's purpose is your spouse's purpose. Just as the Lord spoke with you and gave you that alone, the Lord speaks to your partner in terms of their reason, the reason why He chose to knit you together inside of the womb of the specific woman in the specific place at the specific time on the planet. We talk in purpose. And the problem is that as you said, so right, the wrong person will derail and destroy your purpose on the reason why you were placed on this earth. There are people who believe that once you become a husband and a father, that your purpose is to be a husband and a father.
No.
They met you doing something else now. They met you in your purpose. But that's your purpose now. But Ironically, but you can't tell a pastor that.
It's really not. It's really
No,
not.
you can't tell a pastor to leave his church and be a husband and wife. You also can't tell a billionaire that, or a millionaire that, or a business owner that. And the thing with purpose is, in most cases, purpose is invisible. It's not something that's easily seen, easily quantified, easily understood, even by those who've known you for the majority of your life. And that's true not only today, but through biblical times. So many people look at Noah. The Lord tell him to do the thing with building the ark. Most of the people laughing. Say, what you doing? He's a fool. Like, ain't even no water around here. You building a boat?
They never even had rain.
Nobody had ever even seen rain.
Ain't even seen rain. You know what I'm saying? And that's the challenge. That's the challenge with purpose, because my God, you have to pick someone who not only understands you, but who, if they have not found their purpose already, is committed to discovering their purpose. Because just because I can keep it 100, just because you was first lady, that don't mean that was your purpose. You may have something. You may have a purpose that the Lord gave you, and yes, it's a huge responsibility. You're helping your husband and all that stuff, but first lady or first bishop or whatever they would call it these days, that may not be your purpose. You may be an author. You know, you may supposed to start this nonprofit organization or something like that. There's something that's unique to you before your union that you have to accomplish on this earth. And if you don't do it, when you die, and we all will die, you're going to have to look in the face of God and explain to God why you did not fulfill the purpose of you being put inside the womb of your mother. Now, from a relationship standpoint, that's drama. That's frustration. That's communication. You got to work all that out. Because many artists that I've seen in this industry, seem to be doing good, but when they get married, one album, then that's it. They ain't doing no more music. You know? And I avoided that path for myself. I may have sabotaged my opportunities, to be honest with you, because I knew that of so many people who had become married, and the thing that was their passion or their purpose fell away within a very short period of time. But where I was in my life, in terms of being in Trinidad and Tobago for X amount of months, traveling across different U.S. states, attending award shows, being away from home for so long, to the point where I didn't taste tuna and grits for over a year and a half. Those simple things that when you come back and you say, thank God, Jesus, this is so good. Like little simple things. In some cases, I had a room, I had a hotel room. In some cases, I was sleeping on a family member couch. In some cases, I had my own room in their home. And you feel that loneliness coming. You could be out there doing this all the time, and just like Adam, where the Lord said it's not good for man to be alone. You're gonna know when that comes. You're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel just as Adam felt. You're gonna feel just as I felt. Just as AC felt. Where you have that longing for a mate, for a partner, for a helpmate, for a wife, for a husband. And you got to rely on the Lord so hard for this, because I knew I prayed, and the Holy Spirit had to show me, and the Holy Spirit actually, I made the decision that I was going to ask Rhonda to marry me. And very anointed brother in Trinidad and Tobago, he just called me out the blue. I hadn't spoken to him in a couple months. And he said, Keith, I know what's going on, but the Holy Spirit tell me to tell you you're getting married, son. And I look at the foot. I was like, yeah, I know. It's like I know. I mean, I put it that way. But listen, I'm telling you, without this communication thing,
Mhm.
you're going to fail. One thing is going to fail because your purpose as a child, it's something that you have to feed, or it will die. The
Truth.
relationship with your spouse, the relationship with the children, if you don't feed that, not only will it die in terms of you being separated from them, it could end in their deaths. The statistics point to that in terms of children, about people who are in jail. How many of them had a father in the home? Runaways, sexual assault, behavioral disorders. The absence of a father in the home is the number one reason, the number one catalyst for so much evil in this world, so much crime, so much death in this world. That's the number one thing. So you need to find a way of handling both of those things. You, in an odd way, you have two purposes. In an odd way, you kind of have two, because if you do not protect the union that you agree to, that's going to fail. And if you don't find a creative way of keeping the purpose that you were placed here alive, that's going to fail. So it's easier to do these things as a single person. I mean, think the Apostle Paul even said so.
Yep.
You know,
Mhm.
the Apostle Paul said so. But marriage is also a protection. It's a protection of your time. It's a protection of your resources. So if you are able to do it with wisdom and commitment, your family will protect you from so much pitfalls. There's so many opportunities that have come across me where I'd be like, okay, let's go. Maybe it's a 30% chance of this doing, but yeah, we could hustle, we could pull this off. But I look at that now and I say, this could work. I got a wife and two kids, and I can't put them through that if this fails. So it's forced me to be more innovative and more creative in how I operate in my purpose. So
Mhm.
I don't know what I'd be without them.
Mm.
I probably would have been blind and dead, one of the two or both. But you need to find a way to do it. And that's why it's so imperative that the person you pick is life or death. It is life or death.
It is.
Because let me tell you, if your partner hasn't seen you angry, if you ain't been mad and angry with your partner, they ain't know you. And vice versa, you don't know them.
Mm.
You do not know them until you piss them off. And you in turn piss them off. And then you have to find a way of fixing that. My
Truth.
God, this ain't no easy thing. And
No.
look here, people wanna dump it and oh, I get another one. I got more. Where that come from? No, you don't. You have more people who want to sleep with you. You don't have a lot of options of people who want to go through the tough times with you. The person, you don't. How many people in your life during COVID, if you told them, I think I have COVID and I need to get to the hospital, how many of your friends would have risked getting COVID to take you to the clinic or the hospital?
Truth.
That's
Mhm.
very, you don't have a lot of people in your life who really are for you and who are willing to go the distance.
That's
Man,
so true.
if my wife would get COVID, I was gonna have to minister and take care of her. If we were there, you know what I mean?
Right.
But beyond COVID, um, if you can't clean yourself in the bathroom, who's gonna clean you up? Toilet tissue, make sure you clean. If you can't bathe yourself, who's going to do those things for you? Who in your life right now will drop everything and bathe you and take care? These are such simple fundamental things, and we worried about who get what money and who got short skirt and who got what. These are the only essential things that really matter in life, and you have to find someone to cover at least these fundamentals. You have to, or you're lost, and your family lost. And how are you going to do that without Jesus? How can you do it? Because it's greater than you. It's greater than your own physical strength. You need, as AC said so well, you need to have boundaries. You need things that are going to help to guide and restrict you in your choices. Because that's where production soars, when you are focused. You know, I hope I even answered your question, Simone. I don't even know if I
You
answered your
did.
question.
You did.
Listen,
And
bro,
I
you're
would,
flowing. You're flowing.
you flow
You're
it.
flowing.
You flow
You're
it.
flowing. You're flowing.
All right. Well, let me
Anything
give some
that
spit.
AC you want to add onto that?
No, I think he definitely covered it. You know, being truly choosing someone, you have to be very wise and guided when you choose. And you know, a lot of times we pick what we like. We don't choose who we need.
That's right.
We pick
That's right.
who we want. We don't. And if you think about that, let's think about, if we could really eat cake every day because cake tastes good.
And ice cream.
That's what we like. What we need is broccoli,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what we
Yeah.
need. We need broccoli. Cake. Mm-mm. You see, just using
Yes.
just that simple analogy.
Yes,
And
bro.
but you must be guided, and and you have to seek wisdom. The Bible tells you to seek wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
and you should ask for it, right? And it will be granted to you. And as men, it is very important that we seek wisdom
Yes.
so that we can be guided properly, to guided with purpose. Because, you know, when Adam was created, he was given his work, his purpose. And then he was given somebody to assist him with that, you know. And the thing is that the Bible tells us this, and I think we miss this a lot. It tells us that it is a blessing is a man who finds himself a wife,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, how do you find a wife if this person, right, is single and not married?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What that means is this: she is already the wife material,
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Come on now.
She's a wife before you was a husband.
Wow.
You see,
Come
you
Yeah.
now.
need,
You
blessed is the man who finds the wife. So when you meet her, when the Bible tells you, when God presented Eve to Adam, he presented his wife, his
Yeah.
helpmate.
Yeah.
God.
Right? So you must be guided to find your wife,
Mm-hmm.
right? You got to be guided to find your wife. And therefore, you become the husband, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't seek guidance. That's one of our biggest problems. In my first,
No, you
I didn't seek any guidance. I just, this what I want, this what I like, so this what I can do,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I learned, and there were a lot of missing pieces, and I couldn't figure out why.
Yeah.
Because you see, and this is truly my philosophy and my understanding of the scripture. And I am no theologian, so I could be wrong, but my understanding of this, when the word tells us do not be unequally yoked, we only take that to mean, okay, don't be unsaved and saved together. We only take that there. But to me, that goes deeper.
Much deeper.
Than just that. Yes, you should not be of two different realms or two different worlds. But what about beyond that?
Yeah.
Right? If you are oil and water, no matter how much you try, you ain't gonna never, ever, ever be able to connect properly. The pieces are not going to fit in the puzzle.
Yes.
You're right.
So it's important to be guided, to seek wisdom. So whom you choose fits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are some things about you that iron will sharpen iron. They are going to help you to be a better person, vice versa. You're going to help them to be a better person. Your purpose in life, you connecting with that person, it, as Keith just says, it stands a better chance of surviving. You stand a better chance of surviving. Your purpose in life stands a better chance of being fulfilled when you are aligned with the right person.
Yep.
When you are out of alignment, listen, we all got cars and we drive on these pothole-ridden roads that everybody car need wheel alignment. What has happened when your car is out of alignment? Your car going this way, even though you going this way, out of alignment. But and that's because one of those two wheels could be out of alignment. The left wheel, if that left wheel is out of alignment, I don't care what you do, the car is still going to steer or pull to one side.
Yeah.
But if both wheels are in alignment, you're going
in the same direction.
In the same direction towards the same purpose, the same goals. But if one is out of alignment, one wheel is out of alignment, that car can keep pulling, and you got to hold the wheel trying to keep the car straight. And that's your relationship. You must be in alignment.
Yes, it's so true. And it's critical, and truly it is life or death. Life or death of your purpose.
Yes.
You know?
And that life or death too, it is spiritual and physical.
That's right.
And I could tell you that because I've lived it. I know what it is to be spiritually dead.
Okay.
And then led to the point of being very close to being physically dead. Because the situationships have put me in situations that are now threatening my life.
That's right.
I know what it is to be in a car chase with one gal in the car because I out with her when I ain't supposed to be. I'm married, out with the little thing, and then the next little thing pull up on us.
Sheesh.
Jump in the car, and the next little thing like ain't girl like that.
That's a movie.
Car
Not even a wife in the picture.
Right?
And not only this big.
Exactly. To the point that I got embarrassed and they pull up to the police station because this woman chasing us around.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
All of that is a part of that being spiritually dead and then out of alignment. But therefore not living your purpose. And I could tell you the one thing I could rest you assured of anybody watching this live. And as Keith has said, and shout outs to the late Dr. Miles Monroe.
Yes.
Not fulfilling your purpose is one of the greatest efforts of the enemy to stop you from fulfilling your purpose.
Yes. By any means necessary, he will.
Necessary.
I'm telling you, he will send people your way.
Listen to me.
Situations your way.
I can give you all this quick story. This quick to
Yeah.
get condensed. I vividly could remember I met this young lady. Gorgeous. Yes. What I want. Right? Not what I need. Start talking what's not. A close friend of mine, very, very prayed up sister, called me 6:30 on a Wednesday morning and asked me, AC, did you recently get connected, meet some young lady, talking to some ladies? And I was like, how you know that? She's like, because I saw it. I saw you vividly in a vision with this person. God. She could describe the person to the T to me. Like, listen, tonight I telling you all my story, but no slopping up. This straight, no chaser. Right? She said to me, listen, like you just said, Simmone, people will get sent to you. That's why discernment, you better pray for it.
Better.
She said to me, Cole, listen, that person was sent to you to destroy your life, to be a conduit to your destruction. I've seen you with them, and I see this thing around y'all that it is one of the darkest entities I've ever seen. I saw this in a dream or vision. I saw you. That person was sent to with a purpose to destroy your life. If you don't get away from them, it will lead to your death. And literally, it led to, I could have been dead. Okay? They warned me. I did not listen because my ego was my problem. Right?
My God.
They said to me, they asked me, did you know this person before you all met? You'll ever cross paths or anything like that? I said, no, I never knew them. Didn't know them from the man in the moon. And she said to me, that's because they were sent to you because everything about them is the things you like. The same way that person walked into your life out of nowhere, when their assignment is over with you, they will disappear. They'll walk out of your life like they never existed.
Jeez.
Tailor-made. Tailor-made. Guarantee you, as sure as I am sitting here, when that situation ended and the destruction was done, that person walked away and I've never seen them again. Like they never existed.
Wow. And AC, you imagine the thought that goes into that.
So,
like the person who would study you.
Be wise.
Yeah, like Delilah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, to study you and to say, I'm going to destroy this person.
Yes.
And I know we thinking spiritually, but I never really put much thought into the thought process of the enemy. He know what you like, bro.
But the Bible tells us that we are drawn away by our own desires. So you think that the devil is not going to put in front of you what
no one is tempted with
You're not
if
tempted
you like
what
money,
you not want.
Money is what will be your temptation, right?
Yeah,
I can't. It's useless.
Yeah, right.
It's useless tempting somebody with something that they have no interest in, that is not their desire, that's not their thing. That's useless.
Yeah.
That's right. Because you're not going to be tempted. That's like people who, you talked about the ice cream versus the broccoli.
Yeah. There's a reason why Judas was offered the money. What was his job?
The treasurer.
He was a treasurer. He didn't like money.
He was a thief. He was already a thief.
Okay. So why let's offer to buy some money?
Offer him some money. That could draw him away.
Yeah.
And it did.
Yes, it did.
And it did. And guess what? A lot of people like to put Samson down, and I raised Delilah for a reason. because that was the same thing. That was a strategic move
Yeah,
by his enemies to bring him down. But it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that he was a womanizer. Samson had a broken heart.
Yeah.
And we have to, and this is why we have to guard our heart, and we
Mhm.
have to focus on healing from heartbreak,
Yeah.
because then we will be distracted and derailed and destroyed by what we want most. Samson wanted love. He was married.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came back, they had given his wife away.
Mhm.
It was the same thing that Keith talked about. When you get crushed, then you're like, you know what? Let me get out there. Let me see what else out there. Let me do this, because the love of my life is gone. That's what happened to Samson. It's not that he was a womanizer and
Mm-hmm.
Delilah was this cute thing. He tried to resist her as much as possible. He wanted that companionship. Delilah kept coming around, but she was on a mission.
Yeah.
She was on a mission to destroy him, and she
Yeah.
tugged at him in the place where he hurt the most,
Mm-hmm.
which was his heart and his desire to be loved and in a relationship. And isn't that like so many of us today? That's like so many of us today, you know? And I just see where we have to do a part two. I want to dig more into this. Stacey laughing. I'm serious. I think we need to talk more about this dating and marriage and purpose. I think is very, very important for us to dig into that and understanding what that means to be now aligned with someone who is purposeful.
Yes.
Because a purposeful person is a busy person. A purposeful person, their true love is their purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I remember a dear friend of mine who dated a musician, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh, his music is his mistress." I said, "No, ma'am, you are his mistress.
Music is life.
His love is his music."
That's funny. That's cold, but it's funny.
That's true.
The truth.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Purposeful people, their purpose comes first.
First.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason for that. And so when we talk about, oh, we want a man with purpose, we want a man with vision and all that comes with a price.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with those women who say they want 6-figure men and they want 7-figure men. That's like 18 hour a day, 6 days a week.
Sure. They
Yeah.
traveling, they in meetings, they're consumed by the thing that's making them the money and giving you the
You ain't never
lifestyle.
got no time for me.
Mm-hmm.
In the big house, aren't you?
Right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you think we're paying for
This
this?
is what comes with the deal.
Right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so I hope you're all feeling this part too.
I ready because one thing that seems
Come on.
a little. Would you AC? Would you see what you do with radio as a part of your purpose?
I do. I didn't for some time,
Yeah.
but I have truly come to an appreciation of why and how it's a part of my purpose. But it wasn't until the renewing of my mind, as the word says, I really see that that it is critical to my purpose, and not just my being on the air as a personality, but me being a public figure in general, right? I've come to a true appreciation for my conduct, why it's so critical to conduct myself in a certain way, and to not miss out on the opportunities to make an impact on someone's life, and don't take it for granted either, and to recognize that there's always somebody watching you. I remember this little boy, the first year we did carnival, in Jonkanu, I would always wear I ain't got no hair, right? I would always wear this hat that had this orange hair sticking out. So people would always come and is that because it looked like a visor, so it looked like it was my hair, right? I'd always wear this hat just as this little gag thing, and I would wear it at Jonkanu. And the first year we did carnival, this little boy who I guess was always at Jonkanu was out watching the carnival parade, right? I don't know why they had the child out there to begin with, but anyhow. Right? And the little boy walked up to me and he touched me and he said, "Why are you wearing your Jonkanu hat here?" And I looked at this boy like, "Do I know you?" And he said, "That's your hat for Jonkanu. Why are you wearing it here?" This boy was about maybe 6, 7 years old.
Wow.
And that day I realized that there's always somebody watching you. There's always somebody you make an impact on. And his mother came running over. She's like, "Oh, no, don't." And she said, he is watch you all the time on Bay Street. And he said, "Mommy, see the man coming there with the orange hat, with the orange hair?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? And he identified me with that. So if that little boy could recognize and remember me, and what if I was cussing and carrying on?
He would remember that.
He would remember that too.
So that reminded me, and was a moment where I saw a sobering moment that there's always somebody who's watching, and there's always someone who you can make an impact on. And so for me, that is the greatest power, or no, I wouldn't say power, but the greatest gift of being in the position that I am in, being on radio and being a personality It
is a huge responsibility, whether you want it or not. You know? And so as we close tonight on this topic of when a man chooses, I mean, this has been such a rich conversation. I was like, oh, we'll be finished by 8. Then when 8 o'clock came, okay, 8:30. Now it's almost 9, and we are still going. I mean, it's just been an amazing conversation. You are two amazing men. I'm so happy to have both of you in my life and to listen to the wisdom that you have shared tonight. I mean, it's just been so rich and so powerful. And I just want to say I appreciate both of you so much for being here and for sharing so candidly, being so open and honest with our audience tonight. This is the stuff that we need to talk about and the stuff that we need to hear. And so I know that you have been handpicked, and this has been a divine opportunity. And I know that there will be more opportunities for you because this is ministry. This is ministry to share and be open and to change the narrative, to change the paradigms that have been set, that have been destroying us all. And it's just a matter of us renewing our minds, as you said, and shifting our cultures around the world toward what is pure and what is good and what is true and what is right. And so I just want, for both of you to take a few seconds to just give your closing thoughts to the audience on this topic of when a man chooses. What do you want to leave the audience with tonight? Keith, we'll start with you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Simmone. Both AC and I, our purpose led us to our partners.
Woo.
That's what I've gotten from that. That's why, because I know that Delhi you're talking about, bro. That's right around the corner from where you work. Our purpose led us to our partners. You need to discover what your purpose is first and foremost. That is very, very important, because there are things that you are going to learn throughout the process of achieving your purpose that are essential to what you bring to the family. And in turn, there are things that you are going to learn through having a family, finding a partner, that will be integral in how you run your business or how you move in your purpose. It's going to sharpen what you do and make it 10 to 100 times more potent, more efficient. They complement each other. But purpose is the thing I keep going back to in relation to that. Uh, my God, we talk about so much stuff, Simmone. But with the most important thing is, I would say, whatever this thing you call a type, whatever this thing is, take that to the Lord and pray over it. Pray over this type thing, because you don't know, and you don't even understand how deep that stuff goes as to why you think or why you're attracted to what you're attracted to. But you have to pray over that, because the person that ends up in your life will make or break you. That's it.
Yes, that's good. That's good. So we have 2 key points here, closing points from Keith. Our purpose led us to our partners, and pray over your concept of your type. And it goes back really to the point that AC made in that regard. You choose what you need, not what you want or like. What you need may not be your type. Hello, somebody. Hey, what you need may not be your type. Because if you need somebody who is going to stand with you in purpose, you may need something completely different. Like AC said, someone who is going to stretch him, someone who is going to test him in his ideals, in his standards. Because why? He's being prepared for this next level of ministry in his life.
Yeah.
So, to be able to stand on the power of this message. So he has to have a mate that's going to help him to do that and all the other things that's a part of his purpose. So it may not be about what his preference is. It's about what his purpose needs.
This is true.
That's right.
This is true.
Child, AC, drop your bombs, child. Drop your bombs. Let's hear it.
I think this desert storm, so much bombs are dropped in it. Listen, I am just simply going to just piggyback from that, because you have to recognize that what you may like may not like you. What you might like may not like you. So truly, you do have to seek wisdom and walk in it. Set your boundaries, have standards for yourself, and therefore that will emanate all throughout your life. And I think he is still on the live. My mentor in many ways. And Keith, you know him, Mr. Eric Ward, my boss from Tribune Radio for many years. He had this saying that I have truly come to an appreciation of. When you are making choices, you have the choice of 2 things. And applied, and I've learned why it's so critical to apply this to my life. You can choose to have short-term happiness in the moment, or you could have long-term joy. Make your choices with that in mind. If you choose long-term joy, you will make choices that are disciplined, that are focused, that are guided. You will make choices that are very much intentional. Be intentional. Make your choices with intention so that the outcome, you will have long-term joy. Because short-term happiness is very fleeting. It's here today, gone tomorrow. She or he here today, gone tomorrow. But if you are choosing, you are making your choices for long-term joy, every single thing you do will be guided by that.
That's right. Amen.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to put that one up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one, bro. Short-term happiness, long-term joy.
Or long-term joy.
Yeah. That is delayed gratification. I think it's a important psychology.
Exactly. And thank you so much, Simmone, for inviting me on. It's truly been an honor to be here tonight, and Keith, to be in your presence, sir.
Oh, no, me and yours, brother. Like you the man.
Yes.
Well, everyone agrees that we should have a part 2. We see it. Mm-hmm. I see it in the comments. Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, yeah, we need to have this part 2. So,
and let me say shout outs and good night to my fiance.
Yes, please.
Moss, because trust me, I sure there's already a message and sent a why you say hello to me. Yeah, so
yeah, we don't need no mess ups like that. No.
Listen, you're not keep peace in the home. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, right.
Yes, keep that channel flowing.
Well, even if by some weird era I wasn't going to, I better say it now. Same thing for my wife Sharonda, my lovely wife Sharonda in Tallahassee, my daughter Taryn, about to graduate from high school. Proud of you. Nice. And of course my boy Tegan. Yes, my boy Tegan. I know you watching. Thanks and glad he got two Doritos potato chips before dinner, so I know he happy. But I love you. I love all of you. And to take a quote from a film, "You complete me." Now you ain't know what movie that is. That's on you. You.
Aww, you're so sweet. There you go. You're in the good books. You're in the good books, AC.
You see me? You see me right now? You see me? That's a big book right there.
That's it.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you too, and all the best to you in your marriage as that comes, and the preparation, the joy, the excitement, and the same thing applies with the engagement. Listen, if it don't work out, listen, just enjoy because you have a lifetime together. Keith, same for you. Keep pushing, keep being who you are. You have been an amazing friend to me. For many, many, many years, you have pushed me when I didn't want to be pushed, and so I truly appreciate you as well. And I look forward to part 2 of this conversation with you, amazing man.
All right. Thank you, Simmone.
Respect. Have a good night.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
All right.